Hi, Danny, Grace and Jude. This is game. This for me is the most important bit of dynamic glucose management. This is a bit that's changed my life with diabetes because instead of being frustrated with glucose levels going high between meals, giving correction doses, waiting for ages for it to come down, inevitably giving multiple correction doses and nosediving and crashing, it's completely changed it. Now I just use short bursts of exercise to quickly bring the glucose level down, and there's no hangover effect of insulin lasting 3 to 4 hours. So this is how game works. Pretty simply, you need to think about how much time in range do you want. So if at the moment you're only got 60% time in range, then you'd build it to 70% time in range. If you want to go to, if you're currently 70, maybe 75, 80. And the key thing is, depending on how much time in range you want, you need to set your high alert on your CGM appropriately. So if you want 75% time in range, set the high alert at 11 millimoles per litre or 200 milligrams per deciliter. And then when the high alarm goes off, instead of giving a correction dose, you're going to do a short burst of exercise depending on the glucose level and the trend arrow. So let's just say you've got it set at 11, the alarm goes off, and therefore the glucose level is between 10 and 14, and it's an arrow just trending slightly up. That's 20 minutes of activity will bring it back down to exactly where you need it to be. So that's the whole idea. And how that works is, exercise works in two key ways. First, you can see insulin opens the front door to the cell to allow glucose to move in, whereas exercise opens a side door that doesn't require insulin, so it allows glucose to flow in without the need of insulin. So that's one way that exercise helps, but it's not the most important way. This is something that most people are not taught, and this is the most important thing. So when you're active, what you're actually doing is you're pushing blood to your muscles, which means you're delivering insulin much faster to your muscles, which means that the glucose is dragged out of your blood at a faster rate. So you can think being active or doing exercise after eating is literally making the insulin work stronger, a little bit like Popeye as it shows on here. Whereas if you're sat down and you're not pumping the blood to your muscles, the insulin delivery is very slow to your muscles, therefore the glucose leaving the blood is very slow. And also the beauty of being active is it pushes the blood to the muscles, which means that the insulin gets used, and the insulin actually doesn't get broken down in the muscle cells, it just gets put back out in the blood so it can be used again. So it makes insulin last longer and almost more effectively. Whereas if you're sat down and the glucose level, the glucose and the insulin is just getting pumped around the main organs, the liver and the kidneys are the things that actually break down insulin. So you get insulin being broken down and it doesn't work as effectively. So there's two key reasons there why exercise makes insulin work stronger and last longer. That's why it's better to use exercise in between meals than putting more insulin in. Needless to say, the more insulin that you give, the increased risk there is in the future of heart disease and problems where high insulin levels drive some of those long-term metabolic complications. So I'm going to give you an example for me, exactly what I do. I want 90% or more time in range. I've got my high level set at 8 or 145 milligrams per deciliter. I either run or do rowing as soon as the high alarm sounds, and usually it's obviously between 8 and 9, and it's only ever a slight arrow up or at most a straight arrow up rather than an angled arrow up. So it's only 5 to 10 minutes, so it's not too long. For me, that's either 1,000 to 2,000 high knees, jogging on the spot, or 1 to 2,000 meters rowing if I'm at home. It is as simple as that. So I've put together 2 videos to show you me doing this action, rowing and jogging on the spot. So watch these to get the idea. But really, I want you to take away from this video is really change the way of thinking. Between meals, when the glucose level goes high, forget correction doses and get using exercise, because the side door opens to the cells, insulin is spread quicker to the muscles, therefore it allows the insulin to work more effectively and it lasts longer because it doesn't get broken down by the muscles. Where if you're sat on your backside, when you're relying on correction doses, you're going to require a lot of more insulin, which is not ideal for your future health also. So this is how game works. Let's have a look at a couple of videos on the next ones so that we can show you how it works in action.